Ciao a tutti and welcome to a very Italian lap of clutch and crown. It is officially September, which means Monza Grand Prix is coming up. So if any one of you is going in that direction, I thought I'd give you a little nudge to explore the pioneer land of Ferrari. This season has been particularly tough for all of the tifosi. And I know you guys are going through it, myself included. But apart from Scuderia Ferrari's performance, I came to a conclusion that Ferrari's myth goes way beyond cars, and in the past years they have mastered their brand strategy so good that even the F1 numbers can't fuck it up. And the saying, everyone is a Ferrari fan, even if they say they are a Ferrari fan, is actually so true. So fasten your seatbelts, because this time I'm taking you for a rather classy ride. So picture this. I want to set the scene a little bit. It is the last day of your dream vacation in Italy. You're sitting outside the restaurant, you've got espresso in hand, you've just cleared a full plate of tortellini. You've exchanged a quick chat with the waiter, you're reading your favorite book, the sun lingers on your skin, and you're just enjoying the moment. It's calm, it's quiet, maybe even too quiet at some point, until suddenly it isn't, because there comes that sound. A Ferrari SF90 somewhere beyond the gates. It's definitely not a hum, it is a roar, and it cuts through your afternoon like a spotlight across the stage. You glance up, your heart's skipping, and you're thinking, wait a minute, could it be Charles Leclerc? Leclerc! No, can't be. Or maybe it is. Because the truth is, here everything is possible. Welcome to Maranello. Not just a town, but the beating heart of Ferrari. A place where even the air feels engineered, and where every single spot in town reminds you of how dedicated one can be to a motorsport legacy. But let's circle back to the roots of Ferrari, because the power this brand holds couldn't fit into just one museum. Hence, there's two. The first one, the Museo Enzo Ferrari in Modena, tells the story about the man behind the myth, the boss, the pioneer, the visionary. Its architecture is inspired by naval design, which feels really like a sculpture in motion from the outside. And then you step inside and you're immediately struck by the quiet richness of it all. There are dim lights, there's suspenseful music, this whole cinematic storytelling wrapped around historic machines. It's immersive, it's very much emotional, maybe even overwhelming at some point. Because you don't just learn about Ferrari here, you feel it. It's really hard to leave without a certain tightness in your chest and something very much fulfilled in your heart. And then there's Museo Ferrari in Maranello, which is a sharp contrast in tone. If Modena is the memory, Maranello is the momentum. Here the story shifts gears a bit. The F1 cars sit poised like athletes in their starting blocks. There are championship-winning machines, there are legendary vintage posters, and, well, there's the simulator, of course. You slide in, strap up, countdown hits 0, and for a hot, heart-racing second, you are a Ferrari driver. And that's the whole point of it, to let you experience what the brand feels from the inside out. This is where you feel the power behind the legacy that you've just seen in the previous museum. Here it's not only about the emotion, it's about the action as well. But Ferrari doesn't only leave behind glass panels or beneath carbon fiber hoods. Sometimes it arrives on a plate. Cavallino, which I spoke about at the very beginning of this episode. It is a restaurant located just in front the old Ferrari's factory, and it is where Enzo Ferrari used to host his friends, colleagues, even rival team bosses over pasta, wine, and race day philosophy. It was like a second paddock, just a sacred extension of the factory gates. To me, the space balances nostalgia with modern storytelling. The tables are set with plates that echo speed and symmetry. Every course on the menu feels like a chapter in Ferrari's mythology. It captures the essence of cucina modenese, which is like a cuisine characteristic for this particular region, but it has like a subtle infusion of speed and modernity, and you can clearly see that the dishes are treated with special care. The tortellini are soft and creamy tortellini. Yeah, it rhymes, which means it's true. But apart from that, you might recognize from some of the photos this red and shiny card-shaped dessert. That's what I'm talking about. They don't scream Ferrari. They reflect the absolute core of the brand. The precision, the elegance, craftsmanship, and under the creative direction of a legendary Italian chef, Massimo Bottura, the space now answers the modern society's need and appetite for fine dining, but still it kind of makes you feel at home, because you might miss it from the outside. It seems very like humble, it's not very, eye-catching, I'd say. You don't just stroll around the city and see that and say, okay, yeah, let's come in here. No, you have to actually have this restaurant on your itinerary to go there. But once you step inside, so you might miss it from the outside, but once you step inside, you are immediately immersed into Ferrari's story, moving through rooms where Italian motorsport history was made. You're reading it in the wall art, in the furniture, in the dishes, in the people sitting there. And this is not themed dining. I'd say it's like, to professionally call it, immersive branding. It's like Ferrari on a fork, and it's a very strategic power play. And that brings us to another strategic corner, which is fashion. In 2021, Ferrari dropped the mic and stepped onto the fashion stage. But not with merch, with a full-blown, high-fashion, ready-to-wear line under the creative direction of Rocco Iannone, who is a designer with roots at Armani and Dolce & Gabbana. This wasn't about t-shirts or hoodies ready for race day or just slapping a logo on a hoodie. It was a fully formed statement, bold, architectural, and frankly, unmistakably Italian. The brand's ready-to-wear line steps far beyond paddock merch and is designed not for a race day, but for the runway. And it was about shifting the narrative. It was about proving that Ferrari could dress you as well as it drives. There's this sculptural tailoring, fabric engineered with the same obsessive attention given to chassis. There are belts inspired by seatbelt harnesses, jackets that mirror aerodynamic forms. And there's one simple message behind it all. You don't have to drive a Ferrari. Now you can wear one. And honestly, it's a perfect way to offer a way in for the younger generation. It speaks class, but still convinces you to be brave, to be creative, to think outside the box. It is an invitation for Gen Z, for the fashion purists, and for the curious bystanders who probably have never ever watched a race in their life, but suddenly want to own something that moves like ambition, makes them express their want of being unique. So what is their whole deal? What's with this whole strategy? Why don't they just choose racing or restaurants or fashion? Why does it have to be all together? Well, This is how you future-proof legacy. You don't just preserve the myth, you evolve it across disciplines, across generations, across desires, which we already know. Nowadays, desires are changing very dynamically. But there's still the question, what does it all mean? Why does it hit so hard? Because Ferrari knows the product is just a half of the story. The rest is emotion. Ferrari never sells just a car. They sell identity. They turn speed into seduction, Even the post when Lewis Hamilton was transferring from Mercedes to Ferrari, it all had this vibe of seducing us at some point. And they sell membership to a world that was designed to evoke obsession. It's what marketing textbooks would define as emotional branding. The thing is, Ferrari's playing in a league far beyond case studies. They never chase trends, they set them. And Ferrari doesn't scream luxury. Of course it is a luxurious brand, but it's also very classy, it's very sleek, and there's never a clash between sectors. From pit wall to runway, every detail belongs. Their strategy can be easily expressed in just one word: consistency. The control over atmosphere, tone, detail, it is a masterclass in branding. Every part of the brand is built to evoke desire, trust, envy. And that's the real takeaway. Whether it's a 400,000 euro supercar or a €3 espresso cup, it all feels Ferrari. Not because it's the same, but because it's all connected. And honestly, Ferrari has mastered something that I see brands struggling with nowadays because of all of the intakes from the outside world. But Ferrari, no. They have one voice, one vision across every medium. It's like they have a single mood board, a single vision board for everything. Metal becomes fabric, engine becomes architecture, racing becomes lifestyle. So, even if Ferrari isn't winning championship this year, the brand still wins hearts, and that's power. Because as I've said before, actually it's not me who said it, it's Sebastian Vettel who said it, of course. But love it or not, everyone is a Ferrari fan. Even if they say they're not, they are a Ferrari fan. Thank you guys for riding along. If you've made it this far, congrats, you are part of the Ferrari myth now. And if by any chance you are going to Monza, I highly recommend stretching the route a bit straight to Maranello. Have a lovely race week. Talk to you soon. Bye.